Okay, welcome everyone to Delicious and Deadly, a Heliana's Guide to Monster Hunting campaign. We find our ever lovely newcomers within the Loot Tavern. And within the Loot Tavern is a very interesting Golan, who finds himself standing directly in front of the quest board with a little quest in hand. Right here, which reads, Guards Wanted. A caravan of merchants beyond the city walls of Medenfirth is asking for additional guard to escort through the Great Forest and to arrive in the village of Grenbarrow for delivery of goods. Payment has been agreed upon by acceptance of this quest for 200 gold pieces to the party to partake. Seek out Merchant Master Marcus for more questions. And you see at the bottom of this letter, the quest board, is a signature from a few other names. You see Baka Sanders, probably written in chicken scratch. You see Ranger Truffle and Seidel Idicarius.
Idicarius. Well then, looks like a job. Could I write my name just Taurus under everyone else?
You do indeed write your name under everyone else, and give me the first roll of the game. Give me a perception check.
No way. No way.
Yes, sir.
No way.
21 perception. You are able to see the crew of people. They're very obvious who are waiting to go on this adventure. You spy at a nearby table oh boy, I have to get the names right. You see a Cyclopean, a Raken, and a Gabok all sitting next to each other.
I'd love to just make my way over.
And as you make your way over, Mr. Taurus, for the other group, Seidel, Ranger Truffle, and Bacchus Sanders, what do they see walking over?
Gotcha.
A chicken with its head kind of twisted halfway around, trying to sneak peeks in the kitchen.
Well, what you guys see is just a very large, hulking goblin, like around 7 feet tall, just in a dark green cloak covered in dirt, and his body is just covered in dirt. This guy has been in the trenches of Dirt Town, and you can see that he doesn't have like any armor or anything, just long pants and his shell-like back with dark brown eyes and just a little bit war-scarred, but he's just coming over to you guys right now.
And we've figured out what Baka Sanders looks like, and as you all see this Golan walking up, Seidel, Ranger Truffle, who would like to take next? What does the Golan see?
I think as Baka Sanders is looking over towards the kitchen, across the table, I guess we're kind of making a triangle, but Seidel is a little over 4 feet tall, so very short compared to Taurus, and he's hunched over, his hunching makes him look short rather, but he's holding his mug of ale in one hand, kind of, and cradling it up near his jaw, and his single eye just kind of like looks over to see Taurus approaching, and he takes just this big sip of his ale.
Company.
Next to them, rounding out the short group, is a mid-sized Reagan, but for the raccoon folk, that's only about 4 feet tall, with a big ranger's hat and a nice cozy scarf. Sitting next to him is just a backpack full of a bunch of random stuff and a big walking stick with 2 pointy ends on it. And he looks very excited to see you and anyone else approaching the table.
Wait, Ranger Truffle, how tall did you say you were?
About 4-ish feet tall.
Okay. So my chicken is half your height, so we're really short. We're just...
Yeah, we're a short crew.
We're basically
Don't
at
worry,
the kitty
guys.
table in here.
I'll take care of you.
Especially when the rest of you look over and see entering the building and stepping up to the bar is like an 8-9 foot tall minotaur who just sits down with a thud, probably giving both Ranger Truffle and Baka Sanders some airtime as their seats lift up from the floor.
Definitely. How tall is Taurus?
He's about 7 feet tall.
Perfect. And stealing confidence.
Hello, guys. You guys wouldn't happen to have signed that quest over on the wall, yeah?
Oh, yep. Are you joining?
I am. This was a job for some guards. Are you folk guards? That he sort of stifles a little laugh.
Sign it, we did. Guards, well, I suppose we are now.
I see. Well, I think I'm gonna be the newest addition to this job. I'm Taurus. Nice to meet you all.
Pleasure. My name
Truffle hops up and puts out a hand to shake his hand.
Pleasure.
We get to say something? You can go.
I was about to say my name is Seidel Idacarius.
And I will reach up also to shake a hand, but standing on the floor, so very short.
And
Pleasure to meet you. I know.
the hands are very different. One is, the furry paw of a raccoon folk, and the other is this semi-humanoid, I don't even, I believe Nothics are aberrations, so it's like an
It's like a
aberration.
human-ish hand, but it's almost like the skin is... Like if you've touched a salamander or a newt before, it's got that
Oh, damn.
sticky feel a little bit.
Yeah.
It's weird. And the single eye, when it blinks, I imagine the eyelid goes left to right instead of up to down. And probably from both sides, actually, so left and right to the middle.
And how about you? Going to the Gobok?
Baka is pleased to meet you.
Oh god, I'm pleased to meet you, Baka. Whew. Okay. We got this, Taurus. We got this.
It's going to be a thrilling adventure. Truth be told, the real reason that I wanted to go is I am headed to Grenbarrow, and so it seems like a natural one thing to another. Take the job, go to where I'm going anyways, and get paid. I'm most thrilled that one of your stature is also accompanying us to help with the duty of the guard.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I was expecting bigger, but that's okay. You know what? I'm sure I'll be able to handle this.
I would like to stretch to stand up a little bit, and probably from 4 to 5 feet tall when my hunch goes away, but I'll look back at Baka and Ranger Truffle and be like,
One's stature does not diminish one's bravery.
and like to give bardic inspiration to both of them if I can. Can I do 2 at the same time?
I mean, I think you can. I forget if Bardic No, I think you can have bardic inspiration on 2 people at the same time. I mean, and if you did 2 at the same time, I think it would be, you do one at the other, but because you're not in combat, you can give it both, yeah.
Okay, I apparently only have 2, so sorry, Tor.
Well, my bad. I didn't know you were such a giant, Saida. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, it's no problem. You're the giant.
And I'll hunch back down.
He sort of just holds back more laughter. But so do we know what happens when we sign the paper, or
Well,
Have
I
you guys
assume
just
somebody will
been-
collect it eventually.
so you guys have been like waiting here getting to know each other?
Bakai's waiting.
Gotcha.
Didn't you order something, or are you just curious about their cuisine, Baka?
Bakai's looking at cooking.
Do one of you want to give me a history, please? It could be any of you. It could be all of you.
Sure. 13.
13 from good old Truffle. You know a little bit of how the Loot Tavern works. Usually, some quests are meant for parties of 4 or meant for parties of 5. And, especially the easier quests, which you have accepted. And they tend to... While you've been waiting to see if a 4th member would sign up, with Taurus being here to sign up. Usually, once you have all the signatures, that is your, like the go-to, if you will. You do your signatures. Once you have your party assembled, you get your drink from Lutetia, and you head out through the portal to where you need to be.
So yeah, Truffle's under the impression someone's going to collect it, so he's excitedly waiting for someone to collect it.
Um, perception. I'm gonna just roll a no.
You can roll me a perception, actually.
Well, I'm just wondering if I've noticed, because I think this is the first quest Baka has gone on, to where if I've noticed, but I have a -3, so I don't know. Is that?
Oh, that's beautiful.
Why is it rolling 2? Why is it rolling 2?
It is
automatic,
likely
but-
because it automatically has with advantage on.
Oh, I don't have advantage. I am under no knowledge of. I have no knowledge
Nope.
of how this works. So I'm thinking about if they have alcohol that has bugs in it, and that sounds delicious. So I'm like off in my own head, and yeah, we have no idea what's going on over here.
you don't see it, you don't see them until they're already at your table, but you do see a dwarf man in very heavy armor, seemingly like black scale armor from head to toe, and he says, you lot look like a new party to me. I just saw your buddy here, and he points at Taurus, sign that quest. Do you need help getting out the door? What are you waiting for?
Oh, yes, thank you. Yes, we'll go. Truffle will start packing up his stuff and getting his big, oversized hiking bag on. Getting ready to go.
We are not going to die. We are definitely surviving this.
Did you say that out loud?
I think I like sort of whisper it to the dwarf here.
And I quietly say, if I die, I would probably be delicious.
That's fantastic to know, Baka. That's really cool. Oh gosh.
The dwarf sees your great confidence and says, "You'll do fine. They don't let you low levels grab high level quests. Just make sure to get your bottles on the way out from Lutetia. That's how you travel around these plains."
No. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Do we know who Lutetia is?
She is the bartender
Okay.
down here.
Baka stands up and kind of flaps down off his chair and just kind of chicken walks over to Letitia.
Seidel will put things into his bag, his knapsack, and follow. He's a weird looking walk.
Wait, is this Letitia?
Bottles, Baka!
What the chicken said.
She looks at you and says in kind of a deadpan tone, "Do you know where you're going?"
To Medinfirth.
To Gren Barrow if we can, but I think we're supposed to actually escort through the Great Forest, so yeah, Medinfirth.
So then...
Garrett, Barrow.
So, urban environments, understood. And she turns around and grabs a bottle and pours some out into a cup and gives each of you the cup and also the bottle and says, "New parties always get one for free. These are cosmopolitans. All you have to do is drink them as you walk through the portal and out of the Loot Tavern, and you should arrive where you need to arrive."
Well, thanks.
I appreciate it, thank you.
Seidel will pull a book out of his knapsack, put it on the bar, sit on the table, and start scrawling notes into his book before he takes the drink.
What you?
I'm noting the process of this cosmopolitan drink for a book that I'm going to write.
Oh, whoa, hold on. You write books?
I'm aspiring to.
Gotcha.
Are you in any libraries yet?
I was created near a library.
Like on the steps or like in a back alley?
I don't have memories of it clearly. I wish to go back.
Gotcha.
Well, we'll get you there.
Yeah. Good luck, man.
It's my wish, but we're wasting time.
And he closes his book, hops off the stool.
After you, Sir Taurus.
Thank you, Seidel. Where is the portal?
It's the front door, right? It's just
the front doors. Okay, sweet. I'm gonna very clearly go right to the Minotaur and try to scoot past it.
You are able to scoot past him. He doesn't take up the entire space, but he's a large figure.
Oh, is this the granny lady?
That is the bouncer.
I, as a point of interest, would like to know if the bouncer is in fact bouncy. It's always been a curiosity of mine.
Question.
Give me an insight check.
Excellent.
Are you really bouncing?
Insight. Where is insight? Insight. Here we go.
That is a 0.
Yep, he's definitely bouncy.
She's 100% bouncy. You are surprised she's even able to stand on 2 feet without moving.
Bouncy.
There's someone on stage. Are they playing like a great song that they might think that they're dancing to?
They are playing the song you are listening to right now.
That's so big.
Out of curiosity, is the Loot Tavern, is it in Medenfirth, or is it just...
The Loot Tavern is an extra-dimensional space.
Okay, that makes more sense about how we travel. Okay.
It is It is in a place beyond a place.
How do we even get into the Loot Tavern?
To get into the Loot Tavern, which is how you all arrived, is you basically have to... I believe the way it is you take a special concoction, which actually, now that I mention it, alongside with the Cosmopolitan, Lutetia would have given you each like a potion, a little potion bottle, and says, to get back, you drink this and walk through a doorway.
Okay.
Doorway?
Because, while technically not any doorway, you do have to walk through a tavern doorway.
Gotcha.
But that is how each of you would have arrived to the Loot Tavern. Whether you found a concoction of this material through the black market, or you bought it genuinely, that is how you've each arrived. Or if, in the case of Bacchus Sanders, probably accidentally slurping up someone's crashed bottle.
I was totally thinking, actually, that's how I would have gotten here. Like, I have no idea what's going on, and I don't even know how I got here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. With my wisdom of 3. I definitely think this is the tavern that I meant to walk through. And probably don't even realize I'm in an extra-dimensional space.
Mm-hmm. And this here, Taurus and Seidel, is the portal.
Sir Lancelittle, who is this?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and pop out.
Fumblemore? Yo, these are fantastic names. Come on, folks.
Alright. Oh, Seidel's floating off into nothingness.
Ah!
That was an accident.
Alright, you all drink your drinks.
Is our Cosmopolitan just a real Cosmopolitan?
It is a real Cosmopolitan.
Okay.
Seidel makes the most ridiculous long slurp of his drink in one gulp as he goes through, but it's like a very, very slow, long.
Oh yeah.
He goes through.
As you slurp in... Yep.
Is it in like a shot glass or an actual cup?
It's like a tiny little... I'm gonna roll for glass.
Glass size.
It's a 10, so it's a shot glass.
Perfect. I put it between my beak and I just kind of beak it and then spit it out the glass.
And so you do. And
go
you
through the thingamabobble.
step through the portal and find yourself outside of great walls with vines among them. You see a gate before you, and as you kind of come to, seemingly stepping out of nowhere, you find yourself in front of this large gate. Ranger Truffle, can you roll me a perception?
Of course. 12.
A 12. You hear shouting from above. You see atop this gate, a guard sees you seemingly appear and shouts out, "Oh, Ranger! Good to see you back in Medenfirth. Is this a new group you'll be guiding?"
No, we're taking a pause from the tours for now.
Oh, well, understood. Why don't you come on in? And you see him shout to one of the other guards as they begin raising the gate, and you're able to walk through and into the city of Medenfirth.
Ooh.
So beautiful.
It is a very old-looking city, brick buildings, covered in vines and leaves, but that seems to be the aesthetic they're going for. There don't seem to really be gardeners looking to take care of it, because that's the vibe of the the vibe of the city. The city is meant to feel like this ever-growing, living city, so it seems like, the vines on these buildings are purposeful. And there are people walking about. You do see guards at posts, and you're able to walk right through. And as you do walk through, the guard at the top of the battlements shouts back down, "Well, I wish you and your new group luck. Stay safe out there. Great Forest gets mighty dangerous this time of year."
Thanks, Tracy.
As I'm going through the city, I would like to keep an eye out for any sort of thieves' cant around.
Oh.
Just for what's going on. Can I roll up investigation for that?
Sure. A 12. As you're walking, and you all are free to move your tokens to move through the city.
Seidel might drop into the last place because he's getting very distracted by the new sensations that he's experiencing. He will drop down almost like onto all fours as if he was a ghoul and sniff the cobblestone and then like the plants over here, touch it, put a finger into his mouth and just taste it and blink rapidly at everything. It's very inhuman looking, but also overwhelmed by all the newness of the experience of being in this town. That goes away after like 5 minutes, and he kind of gets his bearings.
Which would be where Baka Sanders, as you're kind of moving through, maybe popping away from the group a bit to check out the alleyways. You don't really see any thieves' cant. You do find maybe here and there some scratch marks, which you think might be thieves' cant, but then you see a pigeon fly overhead, and you realize, oh, it's probably just a pigeon.
Inferior birds.
Birdsism. We don't mess with pigeons in this neighborhood.
Well, I don't know what Seidel's doing over there, but the question does beyond the city walls.
You started at one end of the city. You do not see any merchants around.
Does anyone want to check on this guy? Why is he sniffing the floor? I don't know. Do you guys know him? Like,
I peck at the ground once and check for bugs, and I see nothing, and I move along.
just
Isn't this world full of wonders, Taurus?
Do you know these people, Ranger Truffle?
Not in the slightest.
It's not too late if you want them. I don't think they're gonna help.
They're two more bodies. We can babysit for a minute. It's okay.
Okay. I'll follow you.
Forward! And we'll go look for the merchant. Would I know of any this merchant, since I've been here a few times?
Oh, yeah, you can roll me,
Master Marcus.
I'll allow a history with advantage. Advantage.
I'll need the advantage. Ah, speaking of, 21!
The first natural 20 of the campaign in the first session. For that, I'm going to give you a luck point. The first luck point of the campaign. With a natural 20, you do know that on the opposite side of the city, not where you came out from the Loot Tavern, but on the opposite end of the city, there is usually a bit outside the city walls is usually a merchant camp, a gathering of merchants that come every now and then through to trade or drop off goods. You might not know them personally, or perhaps actually, more likely, you might have been part of a group that have guided the merchant master through the Great Forest at one point. So you might not know him personally, but you do know that he is very much likely at this merchant camp waiting for the additional assistance.
Okay, I will just start confidently walking in the direction of where I think the merchant camp still is.
Baka has gotten to the end of the map and is looking for merchants. Can I roll investigation? I don't know. I don't know if I am here or not.
Yeah, you can.
We were just sitting there for a long time, so I just started walking to the end because they didn't seem to be doing anything.
Yeah, give me an investigation.
Investigation.
You do not see any people who might look like merchants. However, as you get into what seems to be a new district of the city, you see a lot of blacksmiths. And the rest of you see Baka has just gone full down the road.
I'm not that fast, honestly. I'm chicken walking.
And
you walk. we just let you go.
You see a bunch of blacksmiths going to work within this one specific building. You do hear the faint sound of hammer hitting forge, as this whole area seems to be, or at least this upper half of Medenfirth seem to be one large blacksmith, essentially.
And I still have yet to see any thieves' cant.
You have not seen any thieves' cant.
I'm like under the impression that this is either an extremely peaceful city or like somebody got their hands chopped off, because like.
Well, when in medieval times, hands do tend to fall off their body.
Kitchen knives, I'm like extremely curious if they are.
You say that out loud, and one of the guards looks at you with an interesting.
Do they have any? Is there a shop where anything's on display, or is it just the hammering and obvious smithing going on in there?
This area, as you're passing by, the first two sections of Medenfirth seem to be mostly living, as well as this forge. There don't seem to be many shops. However, as you are moving down the road, you do see a mass market type area.
Ooh.
Baka.
Taurus?
I think we're going the other way, Baka.
Is it the other way that we need to go?
Well, if it's beyond the walls, if the walls were that way.
Didn't we come in from that area?
Well, we sort of poofed in here, we didn't necessarily come in from anywhere.
Okay, can I roll, okay, so I legit was confused about that, but I obviously don't want to look like an idiot. Can I roll, a knowledge check to see how long the Great Forest would be? Like, oh wait, I'll just roll deception. Ingredients for long trip, market.
You think it's gonna take a while? You know what? You're actually probably right about that. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, no, that was total BS, but I don't say that out loud.
You know what? You know what? Let me go grab the others. We'll come over here. We'll let you do your thing, okay? Ranger Truffle! Ranger Truffle!
Yes, friend. What's up?
Bacall wants to go grab some supplies for a really long trip.
Oh, perfect. That's exactly where we're headed. We can go straight to the merchant stand and grab some supplies for him.
I think Bacall wanted it from back here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm not really sure what they sell over here, but sure, yeah.
I don't know. She seems to know her way around this place, so
I was informed there was a market ahead. That's just that's just what I imagine I'm seeing. So I assume the market is pretty close by. Pie, where
She
did I
looks
see the market?
she looks really experienced around here. So I'm just
I will show you where you see the market as you go down the road. Welcome to the market.
It is enormous and full of life.
And you notice as you enter this section of Medenfirth, there are restaurants here. People are hustling and bustling. There are guards around. The same viney structures. There is a market in the middle. And as anyone notices, you would notice that the section that the markets are on is actually a drawbridge.
Ooh. Ooh.
And now that you kind of go further into Medenfirth, basic knowledge of Medenfirth would know that this city is actually built on top of boats. What's holding up this city across a large river is a mass of boats, and this drawbridge would be used to allow other boats to go through the river.
Wait, did you say the city is made of a bunch of boats?
Yes, as in the boats are the building blocks for the city. There are boats underneath the city.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, these bits here, these are all the edges of boats.
Yeah. Gosh. So, what are we looking for here, Baka?
Spices and ingredients. Can I just investigate for like some spices, some basic food rations, and anything we would need for cooking?
Yes, and a natural
That's
20.
a 20.
You do find a few stalls selling basic spices and basic foods that, maybe jerkies, non-spoilable foods here and there. You find some cardamom and red chili flake.
Some salt, some pepper,
Mhm.
white pepper, basil, oregano.
Some garlic.
Definitely need time. Yeah.
Can I look around for any
Some-
stuff that I think I have no cooking experience, but I'd love to just try to find something helpful for Baka here.
Sure. Roll investigation.
Cool. Go find sunflower seeds or something.
18.
Oh,
You do find someone selling a pretty good set of cutlery.
Where do I put inventory in here? I can't even. Sorry, it's been a while since I've used this.
Where all your gear is, you can just hit.
Yeah.
Wait, how much? Let me do.
I'm
Sorry,
imagining.
I'm so used to the other character sheets.
Oh, I haven't go.
I'm imagining Baka is probably just swiping these spices.
I'd love to.
I think under core, bio, and spells, there's a inventory where you can just make a list of stuff. I think. Or is there an actual?
No, it's
The actual inventory is where all your gear is. It's on the main page, right underneath attacks.
Oh. Gosh. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay.
Taurus, did you want to buy the silverware?
I'd love to. This must be very important for cooking.
The merchant will say, the guy you're talking to down here, the old man, he says, it's a pretty nice set of cutlery. 1 silver piece, please, if you're interested.
Sold.
And he wraps it up and gives it to you.
Yes.
Is this?
Baka?
Yeah, was it like a single set of a single fork, a spoon, and a knife?
Yes, there's a fork, there's a spoon, there's a knife. With an 18, I'll even say there's a spork.
Now
Baka,
you're set forever.
friend. I've found cooking utensils.
Chopsticks, Baka?
Wait, are there chopsticks?
There are
God.
not.
I'll go find them right now. Don't worry,
Always
Baka.
make chopsticks very easily.
I'm gonna go back and look for chopsticks.
Is this market mostly like the food section, or is there also other?
It does seem to be
Things
mostly food and perishables and...
I definitely want to get some cooking oil and seasonings.
I know oil does have a price. We'll say if you're wanting to gather a bunch of different seasonings, we'll say if you want to pay, I feel like seasonings and some oil probably wouldn't be much. So if you want to pay, let's say 8 silver pieces, you can just write down, you have a casket of oil and seasonings of your choice.
Yeah, we can totally do that. I typed 2 one time and then it typed a bunch of 2s, so now I have to figure out how to fix this. Hold on.
But you are able to buy spices. Taurus, you go back to the man. You're asking for chopsticks. He says, "I'm sorry. I don't think I have that."
Who doesn't have chopsticks?
Hey, not many of us use chopsticks. We use forks.
I just need to stick that chopstick. How hard is this?
If you got him a knife as a choppy stick, Baka would be still pleased.
Buy a knife.
The set did come
all-
with a knife.
I don't. Taurus is just looking for a stick that chops stuff.
Give me an investigation.
Oh, a chopstick. He doesn't know what actual chopsticks are.
Give me an investigation. Another one. Wow.
Oh, big.
You see, not in the stall, but like fallen debris behind you, just like a random twig that looks fairly sharp.
Never mind, I don't need you, fool.
He goes, "Hey."
I'm gonna go grab it. Baka, I found a stick that might be able to chop.
Okay, when I look at this stick, is it about the length of 2 chopsticks?
You look at it, and it is a pretty thin twig that you could probably snap in half.
That probably actually, if you know how chopsticks are made, wouldn't actually make a good chopstick. But if we're going on investigation, and I don't know, what is your
It does look like a chopped stick. Which is what
I
Toros
can
was
chop-
looking for.
I can chop the chopstick in half.
Can I have?
Baka is speechless. Baka is legitimately speechless.
While this is all going on, Seidel would like to wander the market, not really buying anything specifically, but until he finds maybe it's out of the market, but if there's other shops and stuff, he'd like to find a place where he can stock up on parchments and inks.
Sure, yeah. We'll say this store right here. This is a store. You walk into, paper and ink isn't that much. How much paper do you need?
I want to get like a big ream.
All right, and yeah, paper and ink. Well, that isn't much. So we'll say you can get a whole batch of paper and an inkwell for 2 copper pieces.
Sweet.
Paper, ink, not that expensive.
Okay, I will note that down. It's ratio is 10-10, right? 10 silver is 1 gold, 10 copper is 1.
I believe so.
Are we doing electrum or anything?
Electrum
like
never exists.
That's what I was hoping he'd say.
Never.
That's like weird money. That's like
It's like
special
old world.
money that nobody takes.
It's
like the $2 bill. It just
you know
doesn't
what?
exist.
Seidel, give me a history check.
Oh, perfect. Let's roll some history. Unnatural 20.
You know that in the old world, people used electrum. But once folks came over to this new world, gold and silver and copper started becoming more populous.
Did like a wizard come up with like arcane cryptocurrency and no one
Yeah.
uses it anymore?
So electrum is a thing of the old world, but not of the new world.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Well, I will make my way back to the group after stuffing more of this material, inks and papers into my backpack. Can I just write sufficient amount for me to use as a roleplay piece at this point?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Do you all continue your
You
way
have
through the
a
market?
Yeah.
How much more do we need before we could set out?
I think we're ready, but that's more of a question for everyone else.
I think we're ready. I just can't get my character sheet.
I'm
to
ready.
Put in stuff because it's being dumb.
Here, I'll come look. I think we're all ready.
But Ka's the expert here. I'll follow her.
Alright, you begin heading through the finals of the city. You reach another section, the end section, where there are more battlements. You see a statue. Same vibes of the city, very vines and, old style. But you do see the gates to leave the city.
Ooh. Wait, where are the gates?
Over here.
There. I found them.
Yeah.
I found them.
And as you begin to leave the city, the guards raise the gates for you, seeing passers coming through. And you're able to begin walking your way a bit down the road, and it's not far outside the city where you see a little section off to the side where there are several merchants and carts and people. And as you begin to approach, one of the guards in the front pipes up and says, the classic, "Halt! What is your business in the merchant's quarter?" And we'll say it's this guard right here.
Did one of us grab the listing?
Can we say I did?
Yeah, doesn't sound like Taurus let go of it.
Wait. I'll hand the listing to Truffle.
Oh, hello, merchant guard. We're gonna help Marcus. Where is he?
The guard gives you a look, but then turns to left and says, Marcus, your extra guards are here. And he goes back to his little standing post, and you see this little halfling turn on a log and says, oh goody, come. This little fella.
We'll hop to it.
And as you're approaching, he says, it's good to meet you. I am Merchant Master Marcus. Do you know much about the Great Forest?
We've done a tour or a few.
Can I roll history to see if I know anything
Sure.
special about it? Because I know they said it was dangerous.
A 12. You do know it is dangerous. You do know it houses plenty of monsters. There are some smaller villages who actually are built within the Great Forest or the plains surrounding it. That's, I think, most of the knowledge that Seidel has of the Great Forest.
Okay. And how are the guards, like, perceiving our weird group where none of us are human? Like, does that change their demeanor at all, or are they used to this type of thing?
They seem rather lax, because if I'm remembering my own lore that I wrote, in these smaller villages, these non-human like entities such as yourselves are kind of not discriminated against, but people do stare. But within, the larger cities such as Firth, adventurers from the Loot Tavern have passed through plenty of times, so people are used to the sight of, Gawboks or Golans passing through. So the guards see you and don't really seem fazed by it. One of the guards might linger their look on someone like Seidel for a couple of seconds, but it's nothing like, judging.
Okay. Cool.
I personally don't know a lot about the forest.
Well, it is a rather dangerous place. Monsters galore live within it, and hopefully you'll be escorting me and my fellow merchants safe and sound through the forest and to our delivery point. I do have some extra guards along the way with us, so it won't just be you. But it doesn't hurt to have an extra hand of support from the Monster Hunters Guild.
I agree. And I'm gonna look down at all my short companions and then whisper to the merchant, like, "Don't worry, I'll protect you. I can handle this. Don't worry about the other."
He whispers back, "Oh, don't worry, my friend. I'm not worried at all. It's why I make sure to pay good. I get only the best for my money."
Yeah, it's just that they're a little bit like you.
I like whispering too.
There's a reason why I'm whispering, Truffle. Or
Oh.
I don't
turn around and
I don't
plug
know.
his ears.
But anyways, I'm not whispering anymore. Just saying.
Marcus, Merchant Master Marcus pipes up and says, well, if you do not mind, now that you're here, if we get set off most hastily, I have a delivery to drop off. Is your group ready?
Hi.
Yes.
Could I have gotten a bird when I was in the market?
A bird?
Roll
A
me.
bird.
We're gonna leave this up to luck. Roll me a D100 to see if there was a bird there. Do you want higher or lower?
High makes sense.
Okay. There was no birds for sale.
Hold on, I don't even see the results.
It was
there we
a
go.
it was a
Okay.
45.
Yep, no birds. Sadness, no birds. Okay.
You know, Baka, I'm a little bit curious. Do you speak bird folk by any chance?
Bok, bok. That was definitely a positive bok.
Bok, bok, bok. Bok, 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 bok.
This is what it sounds like to everyone else. But to Baka and Taurus, they're having a genuine conversation.
Ah, it's great to meet a fellow practitioner. It's bird folk.
Excellent, excellent.
When do we head out, Master Merchant?
Well, preferably now, if you're all ready. I will call for my fellow merchants. We already have a cart all set up. We have a few donkeys with us, and as I said, the aforementioned 2 guards. Your group seems to be rather roaring to get going. Are you all ready for this journey?
Yeah, he'll like tighten his straps and salute a little. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm
Sadell
ready.
just gives big nod.
All right. You all begin to walk and pass through the outer areas of Medenfirth. You see the master merchant is on a cart being carried by a donkey, and there are 2 merchants behind him riding donkeys with 2 guards backing them up. And as you leave, it's not long until you reach a crossroads type of area, and you see the merchant cart kind of halt in the front as you begin approaching this scene where, as I said, this crossroads area, part of it seems to be blockaded for some reason. And as you approach, the master merchant shouts to one of the guards and says, Guardsman, might I ask, what is happening here? And one of the guards, will say it's this one here, pipes up and says, "Oh well, we've had some unfortunate encounters outside the Great Forest. It seems something has been stirring up the monsters as of late, so we are just holding this area until we can get everything sorted. Do not worry yourself, Master Merchant, but your path should still be fine. Just keep an extra vigilant eye out, if you will." And Marcus responds, "Well, that's what I hired them for," and points back to your group.
Big toothy smiles.
What kind of monster did they say?
I'm gonna try to push my way to the front.
Sure. Are you asking the merchant master, or are you asking one of the guards?
I'm not close to the merchant master, so maybe this guy here.
Uh,
What is this guy? Is he a dwarf?
We'll say yeah. He's another one of the merchants on this journey, and he looks at you and says, "I do not believe they said. Just that monster attacks have been quite rampant."
Baka is definitely overhearing your conversation, and the caravan, I assume, is carrying on in the direction that it's supposed to go.
Yeah, once this conversation's done, the merchant master begins picking up back again.
Baka is asking, "What kind of monsters?" Baka?
The guard.
To the guard.
The guard says, we've had reports of a few. We've heard that some folk have been harassed and had their caravans attacked by, what did you say it was? And he looks back towards this guard. And this guard shouts out, we were told that we were to keep an eye out for any panther-like creatures. And the guard you were speaking to says, some sort of panther-like creature. There were some other reports, but that's the big one we're worried about for now. It's odd that we would get creatures so close to a crossroads like this. Usually they stick to the great forest.
Bark, bark. Sounds like it needs investigation. Bark, bark. I will move on because it doesn't seem like they're very well informed.
Seidel will go and look for the panther.
Guarding now, Seidel. Bark, bark.
I'm gonna go over to here, and as I walk past the guy on the horse. Or wait,
Actually,
is he just leaving us? Is he continuing
Oh
on?
yeah, the merchant's continuing. I was gonna say, as you probably begin to get closer to the barricade, the guards probably do step in and say, with all due respect, you do look like an adventurer, but this is for the guard to handle.
Okay, I thought they were pausing because they didn't want us to go forward without getting the thing. Okay, never mind.
Does Ranger Truffle do anything, or does he just stand there watching his caravan leave him?
I thought I was on the car, I'll be honest. I wasn't even looking over there. Here we go.
You begin all moving. Oh no, the merchant, the cart's leaving him behind. You do travel for quite some time. It begins to get kind of dark out when eventually you do reach the borders of the great forest and begin entering as the merchant master turns around and says, well, welcome to the great forest, everyone. Do keep your eyes out, like the gods said. There could be any sorts of things waiting for us. And as you enter the great forest, you do spend some more time moving through. It's about midday now, maybe 6 o'clock. The sun is getting ready to set. Maybe more like 7:30ish as you enter the great forest.
I want to keep an ear out for just like the general. Obviously, we hear birds with the audio, but the general sounds of the forest, like how wildlife, how active they are, and like if it gets quiet all of a sudden, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can roll me a nature.
Nature, yay! I have a whole 1 in that.
It's better than a 0.
It is. It is better than a -3, actually.
A nature, you're keeping an ear out. Everything seems normal for now. You do hear an occasional far off, almost like very faint, but you do catch like a whooping sound every now and then.
Do I hear a oh gosh. So I don't know if you know this, but like large cats actually sound like birds.
They do, and some of them even look like birds.
Large cats are, yeah. Anyway, I'm kind of just listening out for anything.
The birds sound normal to you. Being of bird kind, the birds do sound normal.
Cool. Normal bird sounds. Excellent.
And as you kind of begin walking, the merchant says, I do think it's best to not reach the city or reach the town in darkness. This seems like a good enough area. What say you all? Shall we camp for the rest of the day here?
Can I perceive and try to sense if there's anything nearby that I can pick up on?
Sure. 8 perception. You're just hearing the sounds of the forest.
As good a spot as any.
I agree. This is a decent area.
Can I investigate for any sort of like bird's nests that are up in the trees or around and
Sure.
investigation.
Investigation. You do not see any direct, like, bird trees. They're all bird trees. You do not see any direct birds' nests. There could be. You do hear lots of bird sounds, but you do not see any nests, at least within where you are. Because as you enter the Great Forest, I should actually describe it a bit more. The Great Forest is a mixture of plains and large woods. Most of it is, plains and grasslands, but the Great Forest itself surrounds a large section of the New World, and it's interesting because when you go into the cutoff between plains and the Great Forest is you're essentially going from flatland into a vast redwood forest. These trees, as you look up, they are so tall they pierce the clouds.
Wow.
It is certainly a sight to behold, but perhaps not for Ranger Truffle. You've done your tours between here, but, well, maybe even Ranger Truffle. Maybe even seeing these trees still fascinate you every time you see them.
He always has a glitter in his eyes, as if it's the first time he's seen it.
The merchant master says, so, any of you good at getting a camp set up?
I was going to communicate with bird folk and say, "Here, birdie, have some dinner," and ask the nearby birds if they would like some of my grain.
Oh, okay. Sure, let's see.
I don't think I really have that much animal handling ability, but I feel like I should have a little bit, even though I suck at wisdom.
You can roll me animal handling.
See, I suck at it though. I have a -3, but then I have the ability to communicate with.
I'll give you advantage because you can communicate with bird folk.
Okay. Yay.
A 12. You do get an owl who swoops down and just grabs the grain from your hands and then begins flying in the other direction.
It doesn't there's okay.
You hear maybe like a faint "thank you."
Okay.
And then the owl flies off.
Truffle is excitedly beginning to set up the camp for the whole caravan.
Fidel is just in his book.
There's the wild dog. It's actually a wild dog, not a wild panther. You begin to set up camp. Is there anything everyone would like to do before night falls?
I would like to make dinner, but I'm not sure what goes into doing that.
Cooking montage.
Well, you have not acquired any monster parts yet to do a unique cook, but you can roll me a survival.
Survival.
Are you horrible at it?
I got a 15. That's not bad.
What is Bacchus Sanders
good.
cooking? What are they cooking up? Because it's actually a pretty decent meal.
Oh, excellent. Well, I definitely got some grains, some cooking oil, some seasonings. I kind of put it together in my little bowl that I have and mix together, mix the grains together with some eggs, some of the baking powder, and kind of cook up a bun, and then I put that over my little fire, make some bread rolls, and then in my skillet I cook up get some water from the river and put some of the seasonings in it, and some of the jerky to rehydrate it and turn it into a stew, along with some peas and corn, because those rehydrate very well when you put them in water, and it's just kind of a broth with you dip the bread in, and dinner's ready.
You're able to set it up over this fire that Ranger Truffle has set up, and I'm gonna see if this works, folks. We're gonna do something interesting here. I hope you're ready.
Oh, lovely.
Ooh, that's cool.
Fancy.
Welcome to the nighttime. Night comes. You're able to eat your food and set up. You do see the merchants kind of begin setting up their own like bedrolls. One of them does stay by the fire, however. The guards do stay close to the donkeys and by the fire itself. What would you all like to do?
I would like to sit by the fire and produce. It's not a flute. It's like a panpipe. It's like a flute that goes straight forwards. It's not a clarinet, but that type. It's not a sideways flute. And I will play some very, very, I guess, Asian sounding flute slow music, 1 or 2 notes at a time, and just make some music in the night.
Roll me a performance. Let's see how good Seidel performs. 17. It is pretty good music. You see the guards kind of both sit down. They kind of lax a little bit as they listen to it.
Yeah, it's more like a lulling tune. Not a lullaby, but just it's slow and soft and melodious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still cleaning from dinner, probably.
Taurus,
if people are done eating.
Truffle, anything you would like to do?
Enjoying the music and just sitting by the fire looking at it, very proud.
These are the merchant's bags, and they're gonna sleep in.
I did make food for the group, just to put that out there.
Yep, and the merchants do eat it, and Merchant Master Marcus says, this is quite good. I don't think I've ever had an escort that makes food this good. Most of us usually just bring the dried goods from the city.
Rehydrate.
The Marcus hops down from his cart, sits by the fire with all of you, and says, "So that one is good at cooking. What about the rest of you? What are your stories? What brought you to join the Monster Hunters? Tell me. I'm always interested in learning about my guard."
Well, I'm just trying to make a name for myself, Get some money, have some status, and that's it.
That is a very respectable thing to do. I think of myself the same, an entrepreneur just trying to make his way in the world. It took quite some time to gather the moniker of Merchant Master,
Who bestowed the title Master on you? Or is it a self-inflicted title?
Well, I guess you could consider it to be both. I've been in this line of business for quite some time. You see, I was actually one of the first who landed on the New World to begin setting up shop. And I've just been here for so long that it came naturally. Granted, I did give it to myself first, but no one sought to call me anything else, so... And he kind of chuckles a little bit.
Very interesting. And what is the cargo that you are transporting today?
He looks over at the cart.
Oh, it's just some simple goods. Hold on, I realized there's a new token for Ranger Truffle that I had to add.
Thank you.
he says, "Oh, just some simple goods that I am traveling to deliver from Medenfirth to Grenborough. You see, we have a small deal with their local grocer. We bring some of the more fresher goods from Medenfirth and trade it with them."
I see. And are you suspecting that we will encounter the monsters those guards notified us about? Is that why you needed the extra hands?
Well, I certainly hope we do not. Though the larger cat-like monsters I've heard are quite a terror. No, I just like to have a little bit of extra assistance. Not that my own guards aren't good. And he looks at his 2 guards and says, "You lot protect me, fine and dandy. But as I said previously, it is always nice to have a little bit of support from the monster hunters, just in case."
Well, I, speaking for myself, am having a brilliant time, and I enjoy this quest and the company, and most of all, the food's delicious.
Yes, indeed, it is, it's quite good.
I begin to unroll my bedroll right where I'm here, right by the fire, and it looks like I'm about to start going to bed.
You see these 2 guards. One of them says, the male guard says, "If one of you want to join me for the watch, I wouldn't mind. Otherwise, I'll take first." And Marcus says, "You know, Reggie, you've always been a great guard. Remind me when we get back to Medenfirth to up your pay just a little bit." The guard says, "Thank you, Merchant Master. Much appreciated." And Marcus walks away and says, "Well, good night now, everyone. See you in the morning."
Bakar will join. What was his name?
Reggie.
Reggie. Okay. Bakar will join Reggie.
And he goes kind of over here to this tree. This is Reggie.
Bakar goes to the other side of the forest. There was a tree that was kind of nearby, right?
All these
Over on
leaves
this
of trees.
side?
Yeah, there's a tree right here.
Okay. Can Bakar hop up the tree, kind of so I can get a better view of what's going on?
Sure. I'll say if you take your time, you can get up it safely.
Cool.
To a nice little branch. Maybe not that high, considering how tall these trees are, but you're able to oversee the camp.
Chickens can fly a short distance if they don't have their wings clipped, so I'm not too worried about it.
We'll say you're maybe 10 feet up.
Excellent.
And how about Seidel, Truffle, and Taurus? What are you doing for the night? Are you setting up? I know Seidel said he was setting up camp directly in front of the fire.
Wake me up if anything happens.
Taurus will
Truff.
just sleeping bag sort of close to the bell and we'll start sneezing.
Alright, you setting up near the fire too?
I think Truffle will, just do the fire. I was thinking he might go over to the tree line, but he's paid to be on guard duty, so he'll stay with the group.
Alright. So then, as first watch comes, Baka Sanders, would you like to roll me a little perception?
Dang it. My perception is awful, but I rolled an 11, which isn't bad.
And then I will roll one for your guard as well. Here is Reginald. He got a 19. That's pretty good. Throughout the night, it is rather quiet. You hear this, well, not quiet. You hear the sounds of the forest. You hear the birds chirping. You hear the sounds, the ambient sounds of, bugs and the flapping of wings. the occasional wolf's howl. That one interests you the most, actually. Which Reginald does kind of come over to your perch and say, "Hey, you hear that? Might be wolves in the area."
I'm not that high up from where he is, with just being up that high as you said I was. So
yeah, you're able to have conversation. You're at a conversation height. But nothing happens throughout the night, and then he kind of looks at you and says, I don't really know your group. Did you set out in order? Who should we wake up next?
I go, I get over and I wake up Ranger Truffle and say, Brock, your turn. Brock.
Okay. Yep.
And Reggie will wake up his fellow guard, kind of poke them with the end of their spear and say, "Hey, you're going to take watch with the ranger here." And she gets up, kind of groggily, and I says, "All right, let me put my armor on real quick." And she eventually gets up with her staff or her spear and armor ready, and looks at you, Ranger, and says, "You ready for watch?"
Ready as ever.
She kind of goes near the little lake a little bit, and you can roll perception.
Okay. Classic. 8.
15 from the guard. It is the middle of the
Brilliant
night.
guards.
I just want to put a note out there that I fall asleep in the tree that I was perched on before. Just to...
The guard comes to you, Ranger Truffle, and kind of comes up to you if you're still by the fire, and says, "Did you hear that?"
No.
Keep listening for a moment. I think I hear something. And as you kind of put your ears out to what she's saying, you do hear a sound getting closer and closer, and it is a kind of like whooping sound. You do put out your ear and you hear a hoo 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 over and over again, getting a bit closer and closer every time. And you hear the guards say, I haven't spent much time in the Great Forest. Do you happen to know what that is? Perhaps we should wake the others."
As a guide of a forest, have I heard this noise before?
Roll me either a survival or a nature with advantage.
23.
You have not encountered them previously. Perhaps you have heard them before, but you have never had a physical interaction with this monster species. You hear the sound of a... I will type it in the chat, just so you can get the typing. You hear the sound of a Gorboon pack. They are very territorial, essentially dire baboons.
Okay.
And as you kind of sit there listening in and recognize it, you do hear the whoopings. While they are maybe, let's say 30-second intervals between whoops, they are getting seemingly closer.
Looks like we've got some big apes on the way. I think we might. Is there any way to hide our group? We're pretty out in the open. I don't think there's a way to do it quickly.
The guard says, not many good ways to hide us in here. We might have to ready ourselves for a fight. I'll wake the other guard. I'll wake Reggie. She goes over to start shaking him.
I'll start politely waking up Clyde first. As I think, or Seidel, not Clyde.
Is it morning already?
No, but I think we might have visitors very soon.
Oh, visitors?
He stretches.
What kind of visitors come to the forest in the middle of the night?
As I'm answering your question, I'm waking Taurus up. The simian kind, and I don't think they'll be happy. They might be kind of hungry.
Simeon, who's Simeon?
I will rise.
Where's our chicken friend?
Baka? Did someone eat Baka?
You see...
I'm awake now.
Reggie, the guard, is slowly putting on his armor, but hastens a little bit as the whoopings grow closer and says, I think they were in a tree over there, and points behind the cart.
Pulling up trousers as I'm moving. I want to go in the direction that was being pointed to.
And as you move there, Baka, you are awoken by Seidel, basically shouting for you. But not only
suppress the urge to go cock-a-doodle-doo.
Not only are you awoken by the sound of Seidel, you're even further awoken by this sound coming from above you as you look up and you see this slobbering mouth of a baboon just like screeching with a as it appears. And we shall roll some initiative.
To hide.
Oh.
Initiative. We shall
Click
roll.
token, right?
Yep. Or you can just click initiative. You shouldn't have to click your token.
Oh, sweet.
I don't trust that. I always click my token.
Yeah.
How do you do the initiative with the points on it? Add dex tiebreaker. Got it.
There's something in the settings.
Ah, there it is. Okay, I found it.
And how can I forget? Yes, I need to lower that a little bit. It is very loud.
Oh,
It is
I'm good.
very
I
loud.
like it.
You do see up in the trees, maybe 15 feet, leading this pack, is this Mamma Jamma.
I can't help but think just like what would Senshi and Laios think of monsters every time I see monster tokens now. I love it.
How many nipples does it have? Can I milk it?
Oh,
Depends on
boy.
which character.
That's the Laios thing for sure.
Okay, the Gorboon is up first.
Of course it is.
From its perch in the tree, it is going to climb. No, it's going to stay where it is. It's about 15 feet up, and it is going to. You notice it has one hand on this tree, one large hand on this tree, and a rock in its other hand, and it's going to throw a rock towards this guard here. Which misses. And then you see it actually stays where it is, so I'm going to put markers on it. It is Hold on. That will work. I don't know why that won't work for my monsters, but it is 15 feet up on the tree. That will be its turn. Reggie, good old Reg, is just gonna ready an attack. He's gonna back up to the water's edge a little bit and ready his attack. As we go to Baka.
Baka is can I like go up even higher like I'm a bird? Like up the tree more, please?
I think the higher you go, I will ask for either an athletics or acrobatics.
I will go ahead and give you an acrobatics. Dang, that was
An
sucky.
8.
Yeah, that didn't work.
If it was below 5, I would say you would fall. But an 8, I'll give you. You realize that if you try to climb or go any higher, you might not really succeed. So rather than wasting any movement or anything, you simply stay on the branch that you are.
Okay. Gosh. Okay. I'm not sure what the rules are on for sneak attack. So let me just... Yeah. I'll just ready my weapon. Can I just get my weapon out and call that good?
Yes.
Cool.
Alright. This little boonling, which is the name of the pack. Let's see here. 15 feet, so... Aiming a bit down. It will have disadvantage on its rock. Actually, it will climb down, so it'll be 10 feet. And it still has disadvantage, so it will throw a rock at the other guard and miss. Taurus.
Cool. Can we say I had my Capri Sun, like, in my cloak with me?
Yes, if you want to call it out.
I would love to call it out.
You should be able to drag and drop.
Yeah, I'm going to open up my cloak, and a little glowing bird is gonna flutter out right next to me. And he's just gonna fly up to the big guy here and try to give him a little love tap in the cheek.
Okay. Wow.
Oh! Wait, how are we doing crits?
So crit cards are not going to go to familiars.
Okay, very fair, very fair.
And it's simply going to be... It will be... you take the max damage, and then you add the roll. So if it deals a d4, you take the 4, and then you add what you rolled.
Oh, gotcha. So it would be 7 plus 4, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a d6 and then plus 1.
Yeah, so 6, so 7 damage. And then is the necrotic as well.
Well, it's just the necrotic. It just does 1d6 necrotic, and then it does just 1 flat piercing damage.
Oh, okay. I follow.
Yeah, so it would be the 6 necrotic plus 1 piercing plus the 4 necrotic it rolled, right?
Anything that gets rolled in a crit, you take the max as well.
You tell me how much it is, Paya.
Okay. The problem is I have my Roll20 chat popped out, so I actually can't see the numbers. Is the necrotic damage a roll?
Yeah.
So
I did. The necrotic is a roll.
So you max that and take the roll as well. So if the necrotic is a d6, you take 6 and then add the necrotic.
Okay, so it would be 10 in total, and then plus the 1 piercing damage.
So 11 damage.
11 damage.
Okay, 11 damage total, and a Constitution saving throw.
Yup.
And the Capri Sun gains temporary hit points equal to half the necrotic damage dealt. We always round up.
Yup.
So let me roll a con save.
That it gets 6 temp HP.
It succeeds.
Okay, that's all good. I still get the 6 temp HP though.
Yep, your little Capri Sun.
Thank you, Capri Sun. And then that was my bonus action. As my action, I'd love to just take off my heavy crossbow. Give it a little bit of a tap right here. For 7 damage.
Who are you shooting? Sorry.
The same one Capri Sun is targeting.
Alright, yeah, that hits, and you strike the Gorboon as it lets out a loud howl, as it now has an arrow stuck in it, and it does not look good.
Oh yeah.
And-
Mass burn.
Alright, Seidel.
Seidel can see that Baka is safe for now, but there's a lot of stuff coming at him. And then... They're 15 feet up, right?
Yes.
Seidel normally hunches, but he kind of stands upright with a wide stance, and then he begins to swirl his hands together, and he's going to thrust them both palms out and shout,
Joffrey!
and cast Thunderclap at the tree underneath the closest one here.
Ooh, post that, please. Thunderclap. One action. The
I'm
range
trying
is
to-
5 feet, though.
Oh, it has to be adjacent?
Yeah, the range is 5 feet, so I believe you literally thunderclap directly in front of you.
Okay, then I will just jump towards the tree that it's about to get on or whatever. So I want to basically knock the tree down, or have the baboon not be able to stay up in the tree and have it fall.
Sure. Okay, so for thunder damage, I will have this little boonling roll a dex to see if the tree doesn't kill it, or the tree, if it's able to leap to another tree.
Yeah, I'm hoping to shatter the tree and have him fall down to the ground for fall damage, but
It will
attempt.
I will say it'll still take the thunder damage from your thunderclap, this little howler baboon. So we'll take the 4. I won't even have a roll for it because it's more distracted by leaping from this shattering tree. But with its dex save, it does leap to another tree right here.
That is, I'm going to shout,
Be careful!
and that will be a bardic inspiration for my bonus action.
Towards who?
Baka.
Okay, Baka, you have a bardic inspiration. Ranger Truffle.
Hopefully, if the leader gets wounded enough, he'll tell their friends to retreat. So Truffle pulls out his longbow and aims at the Gorboon to wound it, to scare it off. And fires a single longbow shot at it. With a 13 to hit.
A 13 strikes. And for our first session, how do you want to do this?
Well, I kind of described it ahead of time. I kind of want it to be a fearful wounding shot. If I can non-lethal a ranged arrow. I'm hoping that it gets scared enough that it takes the rest of the baboons with it.
Roll me an intimidation with advantage.
Okay.
A 22. So you fire this arrow as this large Gorboon is, shouting at you, roaring at you, and it strikes it in its shoulder. And you see it lose its grip of the tree, and actually fall down onto the floor with a thud. You still see it breathing, but as you let out this intimidation, as you fired this arrow and this larger beast thuds to the ground, you look up in the trees and you actually see each of the smaller creatures let out this whooping sound. And as all of you see this happening, the smaller boonlings begin to swing their way through the trees to disappear. Gone from the fight.
Ugh. Well, slightly more lethal shot than I meant, but hey, we're all alive. Everyone okay?
My thunder scared them off. Ooh, this one's dead.
Technically, you actually do, as you move up to it, you do see it is still breathing. Although, very, very hurt. And the merchants begin stirring and say, "Oh, what happened? What's happened?"
We should eat it for cat.
Everything's taken care of. Don't stress.
You see one of the merchants say, "Oh my, that is quite an interesting beast there. Thank you for keeping us all well."
Sidella is not sure what to do if it's still breathing.
Taurus? Perhaps you should look at it. You're the biggest of us.
Oh, I was muted magically. I'm looking at the Gorbu?
Yes.
Okay. First off, Baka, I don't think we should be eaten. Eddie, that doesn't sound right. But anyways, what am I looking at here?
You are looking at a very large ape-like creature with almost like spines coming out of its fur towards its neck and head. Very large, sharp teeth as it is very slowly breathing, as it has a not only a regular arrow piercing from it, but also a bolt piercing from it. The arrow is in its shoulder, and the bolt that you shot is like in its chest.
Can I recover my bolt?
Give me a survival. And Ranger Truffle, you do see Taurus go to rip the bolt from the Gorboon.
Seidel will go into his pack and draw a thin blade. It's like a sword, a rapier. And he will return holding the weapon awkwardly.
Perhaps we should put it out of its misery.
That is a option, yes. Just be careful.
Perhaps
what they say about cornered animals.
Perhaps I should heal the wound?
Ooh, whoa.
Perhaps I should let you handle it.
The guards do pipe up and say, do we really... Reginald pipes up and says, "Do we really want to leave a monster like this alive?"
No. We could harvest it.
I'd prefer we killed it first, but...
When you say that, I'm going to stab it. And I like through the claw.
You stab it, and you hear its breath die down as it... One final breath, and it is dead.
That was an order, yes?
I pull the sword out.
Good job, Seidel.
What is everyone's passive perception?
7.
15.
9.
14
14.
and 15 for Truffle.
Taurus and Truffle, as the creature lets out one final breath, both of you actually notice that it's still kind of moving. The head area of this beast and kind of like its throat, something seems to be in there, and it's moving.
Baka, it has worms, Baka! Oh, sorry, I didn't see that. Never mind.
Friends, I take half a step back, and I'm gonna get closer when I say that and try to look really close at its head.
Sure.
Just what?
Roll
I kind of
me...
like take my halati double-ended stick and like trying to open the maw a little.
As you open the maw, almost like, and I think, yeah, almost like a face hugger, if you will.
Ooh.
This mass of something immediately springs onto your weapon and starts, with a speed you've never seen before, just engulfing your arm, and then squirms its way up your arm, Ranger Truffle. I'm going to put you towards the mouth of the beast. Mm-hmm. And not that it overtakes you, but it squirms up your arm, and you can feel a shiver cross through your body as this viscous thing disappears, seemingly somewhere on your body.
Oh, you're cute. Where'd you go? Where are you hiding? He's like looking under his elbow. Hey guys? Is it on my back?
What was that?
I'm gonna go and
I don't know, I
try
hadn't
to
seen that.
look at you.
Yeah, turn around.
Give
Take off
me
your clothes.
Truffle starts spinning circles.
Give me an investigation, Seidel.
Can I also? Oh no.
You can also if you want.
Yeah.
Do I see it before I tell him to take off his clothes? Because
yes,
that's the next thing I'm gonna say.
As both Baka and Seidel walk up, you do see somewhat like a second skin upon Ranger Truffle.
Ugh.
It seems to be pulsating this. It seems to be pulsating just slightly above his own fur, and it seems to be almost moss in color.
Hold still.
I would like to. Never mind, I can't do that. Alright, I'm still reading spells a little bit.
I almost want to peck at it.
Yeah, I can't.
One of the guards says, "Whatever came out of that beast surely isn't." It's Reggie again. Whatever came out of that beast surely isn't safe. Do you really think? Are you okay? And he looks at you, Truffle.
I mean, I don't feel any different.
He gives a look at Marcus, and Marcus is just kind of like intrigued himself.
Come, Ranger, Truffle. Come bathe in the river.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
I'd like to wade in and help you dunk. You've got fur, right? You're like legitimately like a
yes, yeah,
raccoon almost. So, do you have like a brush or anything for your fur?
He picks up his whole pack, and after digging for a couple seconds, must have been at the bottom, he pulls out a good-sized brush.
I want to try to brush the thing off of you, and see if it's down to actually like underneath the fur, like against the skin.
Oh, interesting.
So Baka really isn't concerned about it because Baka knows that a good dirt layer is healthy for the skin. So Baka is going to work on the Gorboon instead.
Can I also help with Baka?
Sure.
Go.
I'm not sure what you're doing as far as recipe goes, but I came from a chicken farm and they made a lot of chicken stock, so I'm basically gonna make a gorboon stock.
Sure,
Kinda what I'm thinking.
this setting does have harvesting rules, but as we're
Excellent.
we are nearing the end of our session, so we will work on the harvesting next time or between sessions. But for
Sounds good.
now, we'll continue with this little river or lake scene. You take Ranger Truffle into the little lake and begin to try and brush this entity off of him. And as you do so, you notice that as the bristles of this brush begin to touch the skin, this like second skin, it almost, as you're given a good look into it with your singular eye, Seidel, it almost shifts inside of Ranger Truffle itself, and you actually just begin brushing his fur. Like the second skin absorbs into Ranger Truffle, and now you're just brushing Ranger Truffle.
Can I roll an Arcana to see if I know what that might be? It's some sort of, what's it called?
Sure. I know what you're getting at.
Yeah. Okay.
You, perhaps in your young creation, was either filled with this knowledge, or perhaps it was one of the vast books you may have partook in. But you have heard tale of some people, normally it is willingly, sometimes very rarely, unless threatened, is it unwillingly. But you have heard and read the tales of people occasionally giving themselves up to symbiotic entities in a will for more strength of their own. And as I said, it is very rare for these entities to give itself up to an unwilling creature unless directly threatened or in times of great need, such as its host dying.
I'm going to look at Ranger Truffle after I continue to brush him until I feel like the brushing is done and your fur looks good. Then I'm going to look at you with my big eye.
Are you willing with this symbiote?
Hold on.
Symbiote?
What's a symbiote?
Where's your key, Lizzie?
Your skin. Did you say yes?
And I poke your skin where I last saw it.
I mean, I don't think I've been asked a question since where my brush was.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just keep an eye on it then, shall we?
Okay.
I will give you back your brush. And straighten your your necktie.
You're like, I'll get it, you.
Thank you.
As you all set towards the campfire, some of you begin harvesting the gorboon. You begin investigating symbiotic entities on your friends. I do believe that is where we shall call a finale for this session of Delicious and Deadly. But before we end and say goodbye, I will inform both you, the lovely players, and the stream that come next session, you shall be leveled up to level 2, which means you can level up right now. And we shall discuss what that means next session. But I do believe for now, my friends, if you would like to say farewell.
Farewell.
See you next time.
Bye-bye, YouTube.
See you all next
My skin's
time
itching.
on more delicious and deadly, a Heliana's Guide to Monster Hunting campaign.